Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of the ITK Soccer Show. It is the 7th of October 2014 and my name is Neil Marshall, joined as always by Dan O'Carroll. Hi Dan.
Hello.
And John, how are you, John?
I'm back.
Yeah, you're back, and thank the good Lord above that you are back, because last week's episode was something else.
Yeah, I didn't got to plan. Some people might not be returning to the show.
Okay. Is it because you didn't let him talk, or why is he not coming back?
Yeah, we're lucky Dan's here, to be honest.
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
Well, like, who needs GQ stylish tips in this show? Like, I'm wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt, and well, you're wearing a hoodie, and you're wearing...
I'm wearing a hoodie from 1983.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, who needs it?
Yeah. Don't need to talk to... look, listen, we're very grateful for Enda coming on, and...
oh, yeah.
One day, maybe what we'll do, rather than try and force the issue of the ITK Soccer Show with Enda, we'll just have a people's debate between you two on various different things, exclusive of the show. Because trying to mediate between you two while also delivering the news and goods was no mean feat. I gave up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. You took the headphones off about 10 minutes before, and you're so, yeah, we'll be back next week, whatever. You know, go back, John.
I listened to last week's show and I was doing overtime in work, that's why I couldn't make it. And it was making me angry because you raised some interesting points and then you just went, and why is that happening? I don't know. Saw the headline.
Who, me?
Yeah, like the whole thing in general was like Liverpool are getting a thing for financial fair play. Why? I think they bought Aspas last year, didn't they? That was the...
I don't know, well, I'm just reporting the news here, you know. If someone did some bit of research with me, then I wouldn't be stuck talking about myself.
Once you get into Europe, they go through your last few years of books, like. And since Liverpool almost went bankrupt and almost finished as a club entirely and had to like get the courts to get Hicks and Gillette to sell them, so they're still in debt. Like they paid like a couple, like almost 50 million just to like, can we build over there?
But are they still financially in debt? Like, you know, Arsenal are actually a profitable club. Like they actually break at least even like probably about 20 million profit every year. Well, for like that's including debt.
Okay.
Are Liverpool still making? No. Like when United spent how much? But does that mean they're...
No, Liverpool will be fine now. It was just for that 1 year. That's why they're being looked at.
But it would be 2013.
Yeah, that's when... That was a while back. Like we bought a lot of players that season as well. Like it's all the debt and then signing players all at once. Like because they don't look at that.
Yeah, but the Champions League money now and the Suarez money will balance the books for this year though.
Yes, definitely.
So after explaining Liverpool's actual status in regards to the financial fair play, your question really is, why would you bring up these topics if you're not here to explain them?
Exactly. And can I one more thing if I can?
Oh, please.
Me and Dan have went through this years ago and happily, and I'll have the Real Madrid Barcelona debate all my time, but we're living in a generation of two of the greatest footballers ever, and people are still like, but who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? I saw on Twitter today, look, Ronaldo has 17 goals and Neymar and Messi only have 14. It's like, who gives a fuck? They're all great.
Yeah. Two different roles, both of them. Like.
That was about 20-minute segment the last show.
Speaking of the Messi-Ronaldo watch, we had a 3-3-3 last week, which was the correct figure, and Ronaldo has now surpassed it thanks to his hat-trick there on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
So, did Messi get it? Oh, Messi got one at the weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, but we did that before Champions League.
Yeah, and they book it one.
In Champions
Ronaldo
League.
died for his penalty.
So Ronaldo's
the one that he missed or the one that he scored?
The one that he got.
So Messi got 4 last week and Ronaldo... Well, hold on. Did Messi get any in the league this week?
1.
Okay, so
he's every goal he scores and he assists the other one.
Okay, so Messi's gotten 2 since we last spoke and Ronaldo's gotten 4.
Yeah, so he's 2 ahead.
Ah, okay, great.
But like, again, it's such a... You know...
It's a what?
Well, like, you know...
I don't.
Alright, well, it doesn't matter.
You're doing a Noel Keeley on it here.
Oh, well, you know, it's just some of the things I've seen, you know. Some of the things I've seen.
Yeah, going into detail. As John brought up rightly at the start of the show, you have to back up these statements.
Yeah,
these wild allegations.
Yeah, but Neil, some of the things I've seen, you know, some of the things I've seen.
We'll explain that on a later show. We're going to bring you all the news, Premier League review. You have a little bit of an international preview. I think we're going to focus mostly on Ireland there. La Liga reports, pretty much redundant now after what we just talked about. League of Ireland, we have our teaser, answer to last week's question, team of the week, spoofer hero goal of the week, and we'll be looking at the fantasy table as well. So pretty stacked show. We'll start off, I guess, with the Premier League results. So, Saturday kickoffs, we had... Newcastle and Swansea was the first game of the weekend in the Liberty Stadium. Was it actually the early kickoff?
There was no early kickoff.
There was no Leeds set for Wednesday with the early kickoff.
Okay, great.
Got a nice lion.
Lovely stuff. Do you want to talk about Leeds now? Then get out of the way. You kind of already done
sure. We'll bore all the listeners at the start, and then we'll top it and finish at the end.
Timestamp it. All right, go for it.
Yeah, 1-1 on Wednesday. Played really well. We still haven't won with our new manager, but good performance. We should have beaten Wednesday. By the way, Kieran Westwood, the Ireland goalkeeper, was man of the match. He made some really good saves, and Mirko Antonucci looks a really good player. They did well. It was 1-0 after Maguire put Wednesday 1-0 up, and it was really against the run of play. That was their first shot really on goal, and then Belushi.
Language.
What?
No, go ahead.
Language.
Yeah, just watch your language. Go ahead.
Belushi.
Yeah, that's the joke. Come on.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I thought so. Come on.
Yeah. Belushi then equalised. He's fast becoming a legend, and it was 1-1. Leeds probably should have won it, but I'll take it because I always look at obviously 3 points what you want, but always you have to look at the performance. If you know a team played well, it was the best I've seen Leeds play, actually passing the ball and actually trying to create chances instead of hoofing it. And in other news during Leeds, Brian McDermott is going to become Arsenal's head scout. He's going back to Arsenal where he played years ago. So if he buys Noel Hunt off us, we'll sell him for 10 million. Scored for the under-21s tonight. I don't know how he's eligible to play for them, but he scored a goal and had an assist. It's his first ever goal for Leeds.
I don't know if it's the Leeds chatter or what happened to me on our first go of recording, but I have a really bad headache.
Since the Leeds chat.
Since we're on Championship, I just found this interesting. Watford drew 1-1 and some tosser scored.
Ben Tozer.
Yeah, his name was Tosser.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I found interesting.
Poor Ben.
That's Championship talk for me.
So let's continue with the Barclays Premier League. So yeah, Swansea and Newcastle was 2-2. We had Boney and Routledge scoring, and Cisse got 2 for Newcastle. So this whole Cisse's back to form business, huh?
4 goals in 2 games.
The only person who paid attention to this match were the people who had Sigurdsson in their fantasy football team.
I was going to put Sigurdsson in, and I go, no, everyone got Sigurdsson. I'll put Nathan Dyer in.
But what a great goal that was. I was in the pub watching the Liverpool match, and this match was on at the same time. You're waiting for that beautiful drop-down box in the bottom of the screen that pops up, and it's like, Boney, check the assist, and you're just on Twitter. That's basically all football is to me.
Check the assist.
This was the issue with last week's show. It's like everything had a caveat of what effect it would have on one's fantasy team. Can we just save the fantasy battle?
But unfortunately, Enda's struggling near the bottom of the table.
Off the air, you were saying, what are we going to do in February when Chelsea have the league wrapped up? Well, what we'll be doing from February until the end of the season is just, I guess, reporting on the fantasy league, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to win that as well by February, so what are we going to talk about then?
Okay, well, we'll see. Anyway, is Cisse back in a run of form? Is this just a purple patch? What's the crack? Is he that good?
He knows that if Alan Pardew gets sacked, he'll never get played again. So it's
he's fighting for 2 people's jobs. Okay, fair enough. Sunderland beat Stoke City 3-1 the Stadium of Light. Fletcher got 2, Wickham got 1. Charlie Adams scored as well. Sunderland, what you think?
First win of the season for them.
This ruined everyone's bet in the bookies for a 0-0 draw.
Oh yeah, was that heavy favourite?
Load of goals in the first few minutes. It was 2-1 after 25 minutes or something, and it was just what's happening?
Connor Wickham played very well.
Well,
I like him. I think he's a good player.
Well, it was Stephen Fletcher who.
He got 2 goals, but did you see the miss by Rodwell?
Yeah. 10 million well spent. Jordi Gomez played well.
He's very good, yeah. Played well with
Wigan. Wigan let him go there. It was for free, wasn't it?
I think it's probably his wages. He came from Espanyol, I think, and he had pretty good wages from there, so.
Okie dokie. Leicester City and Burnley was another 2-2 draw. I guess these guys obviously both got promoted.
You've never heard of either of the players that Leicester scored, no?
Let me see here. No. How about you?
Yeah, Jeffrey Schlupp, he's a winger, and Mahrez, no, I haven't heard of him.
I feel kind of bad for Burnley.
They're all celebrating like mad, and there was only a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, but if they hadn't scored, they would have broken a record for longest without scoring a goal in the Premier League. So.
Is that true?
Yeah. So
even more than Derby's record.
Hard luck for them. Well, Derby kicked a few tap-ins and stuff in occasion.
Yeah, they might have lost 6-1.
Yeah.
So Burnley are losing only 1-0.
So you can see Burnley definitely going down, right?
Yeah. Leicester will be fine.
Did Cambiasso play?
I think Leicester.
No, he was injured.
I think Leicester are conceding a lot of goals. It wouldn't surprise me if.
I think it's enough firepower with Ajo and.
There's a lot of terrible teams.
The Premier League, it's very poor. If you take the top 3 or 4 out, it's really bad.
What do you mean by that?
Okay. If you take the top 5 out, so you take the top 4 of last year.
Is there any league in the world where if you don't take out the top 4 or 5 that it's good?
I think the rest of the Premier League is that bad. I think it's worse than the other leagues. A lot of the other leagues.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the standard of technique is just.
It's really
bad. It's really poor. Like
you couldn't see Cambiasco scoring for Leicester against Wolfsburg next year in the Europa League. No.
Well, Leicester won't get to the Europa League, but
you don't know that, Dan.
Well, no, I don't, but they won't.
Well,
even though I said there'd be a surprise package, they won't get 7th.
Yeah, exactly. I'm quoting you, and it wouldn't have been too old if Cambiasso was playing. It's very obvious.
Do you know who I think will be playing in Europe in their brand new stadium next year?
Who?
West Ham.
Really?
Yeah.
They've had a great run.
Sam Allardyce played 3 strikers on Sunday. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but you can talk about them now. They've had so much pace.
Oh, QPR are very bad.
They've had so much pace in their team. Like Sacco is good. Downing is playing really well as a
Did you hear about Sacco this week, by the way?
Oh yeah, what did he do again?
Sacco, right? He's moved into his new house. He's getting prepared, and he wanted a cup of tea.
That was actually the one story I had for later.
Yeah.
It was complete. Yeah,
he wanted a cup of tea, right? And but wanted a shower at the same time. So what he did was.
Can I just before you finish up? Why did he even have this appliance? Like, who still uses this instrument that he's using?
Well, it's
incredible.
He didn't have a kettle, obviously.
But
so
who doesn't have a kettle and uses the stove?
He's just moved in.
Who uses the stove?
He's in a foreign country.
He's just moved in.
So anyway, he decides to boil some water on the stove, right?
Yeah.
And decides this is taking too long. I'm going to have a shower, right? So he obviously lives in a block with a few West Ham players. And anyway, they all had to be evacuated because he's almost burned the place down.
Jesus. He's making up for it on the old pitch.
He is, yeah. He's
got 4 goals in a row?
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
Goodbye.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Can we swap him for our Sacco?
I swear to God, I texted my bass player, who's a West Ham fan, and said, "Can I have your Sacco instead of my Sacco, please?"
Your Sacco was quite good last year.
He had his moments. He has moments each way. Hull City beat Crystal Palace 2-0.
Neil Warnock's first loss.
Is that right?
God. Yeah. Hopefully now they finally rot in hell with him. Wow. Well, I don't mind Palaces.
Wow.
Warnock.
Bit harsh.
Nah, Warnock's not a nice man. You know what he's going to happen? He's going to criticise all the young players at Crystal Palace. Anyone who makes a mistake, he's going to actually make a fool of them. They're all going to turn his back on him, and they're going to get relegated. That's what's going to happen. Like every single team he manages. And then he'll walk out, like he always does as well.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Liverpool beat West Brom at Anfield. Adam Lallana getting his Liverpool account off to the start just before the end of the first half. It's a great goal now, 1-2 with Jordan Henderson, who went on to score Liverpool's second after Mourinho had scored a penalty for West Bromwich Albion that was awarded after Lovren took down an Albion player outside of the box.
Yeah.
It was outside, yes.
It was outrageous. I was very upset with this.
What annoyed me and almost Balotelli was dropped because he's... Well, I think it's because he's played a lot of matches, but I think he was out of form. Give Lambert a start or whatever.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But Lambert was getting a lot more. I was watching Enda's favourite goals on Sunday, and they were showing how much more support Lambert was getting. Like Henderson getting runs forward and everyone like.
Really?
And then when Balotelli has the ball, it's like...
Do you think Lambert holds the ball a better?
Maybe, but I think it didn't even look like that. Like.
But like the thing
you just think people are willing to play for him more?
The thing is with Balotelli,
well, maybe
Conte still hasn't called him up to the Italian squad for the.
But that's always going to happen. Like
they've called up Graziano Pelle.
Yeah, but but every big team after like a catastrophic World Cup does this thing where they find one player prima donna.
Absolutely true. Actually,
England do it every year, and then I think Beckham retired from England.
But Conte says I know Balotelli's there, but I know why I'm not picking him.
Yeah, he says he wants players and not what do you say? Famous people.
There's a reason. Like there must be a reason behind that. Like maybe he's not. Like he bought. What did he buy there? He bought a quad bike there. Like, God knows what's going to happen with that. Like
he has a lot of money. Dan.
Yeah, but like he's like
he hasn't done anything bad since he's moved in.
No, he hasn't. But there's something will happen.
It'd be like if you could make it today, and I'd Enda.
Come on, it will. Like
if Enda was here, and Enda was like, Dan makes a lot of points, and I was like, but there's got to be something there. Like he bought 4 wrestling t-shirts. Like it's just like
wearing one now.
Yeah, you have money and you spend it. Like
I'm rich, ladies. I'm available.
Have you checked the metrics for how many women listen to this show?
Do women listen to this show?
That's exactly my point.
I think Claire does.
No, what? No, she doesn't.
No, listen, probably.
She's also your sister, so I really wouldn't be advertising.
No, I'm advertising your woman, not my sister.
Okay. Right, moving on. What did you think of Liverpool's performance?
I think they were good. I thought they were pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
The penalty was just after the penalty went in. I was like, here we go again. But
it's one of the highlights. I saw a bit of the highlights. The last 20 minutes, like it was kind of. I still think there's a serious. Well, obviously there's lack of confidence, but there's a serious nervousness. It's
There
like
is.
Man United.
Yeah, that's
when it's 2-1 at home.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, do we go for this or do we
West
sit
Brom
back?
were
And it's
offering-
just
I think West Brom could
No
offer
leadership.
more at some sort of. But you got the dream final 10 minutes of Steven Gerrard and Luke Balotelli
this is
up
it,
front.
This is it. This is what we need to really talk about. Okay,
yeah,
so
you came up last night and you were literally like, did you see it? Did you see it? And
okay,
like,
so what happened was I was on the road and I was getting updates for the match, and I read that Gerrard played the last 15 minutes as number 10. So automatically I was kind of losing my mind. I saw Match of the Day by the time I got home.
sub by
Bren. Yeah, no, it was very, very
what was
good.
the reasoning behind it?
Try
Did you feel
something new.
Gerrard to maybe kind of have his influence further up the field?
Just to see if he could still do it, I think.
Because
was part of
I think he's good in the holding role as in a playmaker
No.
from deep. But he can't hack at defending, and I've been saying that for a long time now. I think he does get exposed when you put a really good number 10 near him. I think he really... Now, I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's not a bad player. I think his range of passing is brilliant from that position, because he was always a great long passer of, 40, 50 yards. He could pig out a pass. I just think defensively, he was always such an attacking player that you can't just adapt to that.
It's hard for him. Like you'll see.
No, it is. It is
you'll see
hard.
in
That's
most
what I'm
matches,
saying,
he
though,
only
you know?
makes like
I'm
one or
still
two
hoping
runs.
of a back line in 2 years' time with Moreno, Flanagan, and Gerrard. Gerrard centre back. It's gonna
I
happen.
don't know.
Like a sweeper.
Wait,
Like a bird.
let me finish my story here. So I came home and I watched Match of the Day, and I saw 2 things he did with Balotelli. One of them being, I saw 1-2 being played, and then somebody running behind the defensive line with tremendous pace, a shock of brown hair, and I said, good out of Lallana, fighting till the end. No, it wasn't Adam Lallana. It wasn't Adam Lallana showing the pace. So I went nuts and I downloaded the full match and watched the last 15 minutes in its entirety. And it pains me that we didn't buy out and out world class or thereabouts defensive midfield player this year. Anything to allow Gerrard to play as number 10.
What about
Yeah,
the
no.
Chan man?
Yeah, where is the Chan?
He's
man?
injured.
He's injured.
Well, what about would that not completely disrupt the natural progression of Raheem Sterling, which would be
He's
a
in
disgrace for
awful,
Liverpool if they
awful
did
form.
that? Yeah, but they have to base the team around him, and they have to.
That is madness.
Raheem
Base the team
Sterling-
around an 18-year-old who's not in form.
Raheem
The
Sterling
crowd will turn on him
is
by February.
he's the most gifted natural winger we have as well as I felt. Say what you want about him playing as number 10. The fact is nobody on the right or left could be more effective than him. So if now and again Brendan wants to move him to the wing and put Steve Gerrard as number 10, that's something that we should have the
And
opportunity
we have
to
Lallana coming into form and Coutinho, who's not really in form.
I think
as well.
someone who you
wouldn't-
really miss is Joe Allen.
Oh, absolutely.
He keeps everything very tidy, and he runs a hell of a lot.
Oh yeah.
Him and
You know, like,
Henderson give
he's
a lot more space.
he's quite like he's not world beater, but like he's worth the 15 million they paid for him.
We had
I
our
think,
best
you know.
performance against Spurs, and we haven't been able to feel that team again.
That is
It was
100% true.
it was Alan, Gerrard, and
Hendo.
Coutinho,
Hendo.
Yeah.
and Sterling, and
Sterling, Sturridge,
Balotelli, and
Balotelli.
Sturridge.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
no, we haven't
Diamond.
been able to feel that team.
But he wants the diamond. He does. Want
He
the
does want
diamond.
the
He
diamond.
wants the diamond.
Yeah, no, Daniel Sturridge will be returning soon. He's not going on the international break to further his, come back from injury. So we'll see what happens with Liverpool moving forward. The last game on Saturday was Aston Villa home to Manchester City, and in a result that is straight out of last year's playbook, Aguero and Toure getting the goals.
Did you see the relief in Aguero's face when he scored?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
He
basically,
missed so many chances.
It was at the-
He
it
was-
was at
I
the-
thought he was very good though.
Oh yeah,
it was at the death.
Silva was amazing.
Both goals though were in the 80th minute. Did City look very nervy towards the end?
No, what happened was actually they brought Fernando on. And
Yeah,
they took off
freed up.
Dzeko with half an hour.
Did they not put Fernando on for Fernandinho? No, or did they
No,
They
they
did,
brought
yeah.
they
They were lucky though because Aguero had one
Milner,
chance where I think he hit
Milner,
the
was
post or
it?
something, and then Aston Villa were straight up, and it was a good save from Hart. I
Yeah.
think I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it was typical Villa, but then they brought on Hugo, who was not fit at all.
But
was he no good?
I think I
saw him
think,
on the bench
I
and
think
got
he's been
excited.
piling on the pounds. He hasn't been going to the gym.
You
or
know who's getting-
not eating solid foods.
you know who's getting man of the match before Torres goal? Ali Sissoko. He played a stormer.
Alan Hutton was very good.
Who? That's come back. They actually Villa defended very well. Alan Hutton's a horrible person.
Yeah, he's doing all right. But no, they put Fernando midfield, and that actually they just penned them back. Villa, like Delphin cleverly would run about. They must have ran about 11 kilometers each, and they were just absolutely
After watching that,
wrecked by the end of the match. They couldn't keep
After
going.
watching that, I was fairly convinced that like City are going to win the league ahead of Chelsea because I think that's a match that City lose generally, and they just
Chelsea will be first and City will be second. That's what will happen this year.
Every
other place is up for grabs.
I need to ask about Ali Sissoko. This is out of control now. If we had kept him, would you have him over Moreno in the starting 11? Is this where we're at now with the Ali Sissoko love?
I don't know. We don't defend anymore.
Does Ali Sissoko?
Can I just replace all Liverpool players and just have a wall of defenders on the goal line and just go from there? I'd like a clean sheet. That'd be nice.
Speaking of players who used to play for big teams, Tom Cleverley has actually done pretty well for Villa since he's gone there. I'm actually going to say that, and they found his level, and I'm actually going to glad because he was getting terrible.
A lot of it
was terrible.
He wasn't a Man United player.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, but the stuff he was getting was
the biggest
poor, and he's doing well there. So well done to him. Like,
saying they've that they found his level is
I'm happy for him. Like, he's no longer the most hated man in England. Like,
moving on to Sunday, in his former team beat Everton 2-1.
What a game!
Di Maria and Falca getting his first goal for Manchester United as well. Naismith scoring again for Everton. John, you were watching this in the pub without being able to drink, but
I loved every second of it.
Okay, tell us about the match.
Well, United still don't know how to defend. McNair was fantastic against Lukaku, but that could be that Lukaku just doesn't seem arsed since he played.
No. That's 2 games that he's been outstanding.
Well, Lukaku hasn't been great, and
Balotelli.
don't think he knows where the goal is. So
what?
No, not Balotelli.
No, I mean Balotelli against. That wasn't McNair.
No.
Who did United play against last week? Oh, West Ham.
Yeah,
Saka, or he still scored.
Sorry, I was thinking of Everton players.
Would have been Enner Valencia he was against.
I'm sorry, it was great. It was a good match. Di Maria got the thing going. They're very comfortable, scary going forward. Like, they're terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And then I realized
they were Rooney-less.
Do you know how much the wage is for Falcao, Van Persie, Rooney, and Di Maria is a week?
No.
Probably. Let's see. Rooney's about 300. Falcao's 350. That's 7. That's about, let's say, 700 for 2 of them. Who else? Di Maria. He must be 250. You're looking at 900 there. Who else was there?
Van Persie.
Van Persie, another 250. I'd say.
I'm going to go with
I'd say about 1.5.
1.5.
It's 1.2 million
1.2
a week. Bloody man! And like
but that's not even including bonuses.
No, and it's
appearance bonus, assist bonus, goal bonus.
Yeah, so United took the lead at Di Maria. They looked fairly comfortable until the 40 minutes when Tony Hibbert stormed into the box, and further proof that United don't know how to defend. Luke Shaw chops him down. Like,
he was actually a decent player at Southampton.
You paid 30 million for a lad who was decent at going forward. He wasn't the best defender, and he just hacks him down. Like, it's similar to the Blackett challenge penalty against Leicester. Just like, I'm just gonna slide in here for no reason. Like, and Baines missed his first penalty in the Premier League.
Yeah, 1 out of 14 now.
Yeah, I could almost tell if the guys who were in the pub with me just went, he's gonna miss this.
But like, the whole thing was though, like, it wasn't probably the best penalty he's ever taken, but it was still a really good save.
It was a nice save.
It was a good save.
I don't like penalties that go down there anyway. I think they're
Were United lucky to get the win?
At the end they were, because
at the end,
De Gea was man the match.
Di Maria loves a scuffed shot assist. It's the second one this year. And Falcao gets his first goal. Couldn't believe it. Looked to the linesman like blatantly offside. No, great. Celebrated like a madman. As did the United fans I was with in the pub, because they were just desperate for him to score.
Yeah, of course.
And United were just at panic stations, really. Everton threw everything forward, and De Gea made one great save from Osman.
Did you see the saves?
And
no, I didn't.
Then from the corner he made another save from, I think, Stones, who got injured. It was trying to score. And then Oviedo.
The shot from Oviedo.
What a save. Like, De Gea's on the floor, gets up and makes a stunning save. That was it.
But that's like, remember what they were saying 2 weeks ago there about Mignolet. Like, that's the difference. Like, I think De Gea is a really good goalie. I think he's not in form. He's only 20. He's only 23.
Yeah, I definitely think it's fair to say he's not in form.
He made an awful mistake last week.
Yeah, but he's only 23 though. The whole thing.
He conceded 5 to Leicester. I'm not saying he's a bad goalie. I'm just saying he's not in form.
I think he could be.
The difference was the 2 goalies, I think, because Howard made a stupid mistake for the United. He the ball was going towards a throw, and Tim Howard runs after it and boots it towards Raphael, who the crowd screamed shoot, and I screamed shoot, and then they got a goal from it, so I can't really give out about it.
Yeah, but he didn't shoot though.
Just something you mentioned when you were talking about the wage bracket at Manchester United weekly, and you mentioned goal bonuses. To your knowledge, does every single Premier League team have goal bonuses?
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember.
Well, I would I would, if I was owner of a team, of any team, I would actually have. It's like any job. I think if you're doing well at your job, if you're bringing in good stuff, you should get rewarded for it. So I would lower the wage and pay them more by bonus, because then they'll be trying more.
Would then they not say, I can go to another team that will pay me this much as my wage and then get a goal bonus?
You would hope that the player would pick, like, like say Monaco, for example. I'm just going to use them for example. If they put money, I don't know if this will do well. If Monaco came in or Man United came in,
do you think Ozil or Sanchez signs for Arsenal at the idea of a bonus?
I think Sanchez would try anyway.
I think Real Madrid could do it. I think bigger teams could maybe, if they're signing big players. It's like, would you like to? Like Real Madrid could do it. Everyone wants to sign for Real Madrid.
Well, that's it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you'd think that players would want to join Man United regardless of 20 grand a week, when they can hit a goal bonus for maybe 10 grand a goal.
You'd have to be very careful with it. You'd have to, that's a very delicate, delicate thing to get right.
I was in a great mood after the United match. It was a great match of football, and I was like, "Here comes Arsenal, Chelsea."
It didn't come straight away. It was delayed because of some hoodlums outside the stadium. Did you get any further information on that?
There was a couple of lads setting flares off outside, and it was delayed 15
minutes. I was with a few guys
just for flares.
Yeah. Oh no, there was no killing.
Oh yeah, there was photos going around of Arsenal fans setting off flares and then taking selfies. A bunch of dicks.
Jesus Christ, I'd hate to think the delay if it was Italian teams playing all the time in England.
Oh yeah, do you remember was the Fiorentina Roma at the start of the year?
What was that?
Was the Fiorentina Roma? It was delayed for like an hour.
Because of flames?
No, it was Napoli Fiorentina, was it?
No, that's because the mob didn't want to play.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal looked good until the penalty. It was definitely a penalty.
Why didn't Wenger dig Mourinho?
I wanted him to belt him. I thought it would have been just...
I did not know Wenger was that tall.
Yeah, it's just so...
He's a very big man.
It's so funny, though.
Did you not see him in the centipede jacket?
Or coming down the slide.
Seeing those...
No, but the whole thing was with Wenger, though. You could just tell this is years of frustration, as he still hasn't beaten Mourinho in a match. And it's just like he's like, I was telling this to you yesterday, and it was 2006-07, where they were 1-0 up against Chelsea for pretty much the whole match, and then Chelsea couldn't score, fell to Essien from 35 yards and drills it outside the boot top corner. You just imagine Wenger going into doing the old John Cleese thing he does, when he's so frustrated, and all the times, Mourinho seems just battered them, and the 6-0. I think it's just all this frustration. And Mourinho keep giving sly digs, he's expert at failure and all these things, and then he nicks Cesc off him, and it's just, I think Mourinho was actually doing it just to annoy Wenger.
Do you see?
There's no other reason.
Koscielny has now given away since his debut more penalties than any other player.
I was just going to say he gives away.
Wow,
but they're so clumsy though. All he had to do there now. I know Hazard was running. You don't think you have to force him wide. You have to force him the natural place was to force him on his left foot away from the goal on his weaker foot. There should have
been at least 3 red cards.
Cahill's was a disgusting
Let's talk about that's what led to the pushing.
That was a disgusting tackle. I thought it could have broken his leg.
So Arsenal's defence as well was Arsene was giving out yards in his tactical area about the challenge, and when Mourinho came over to kind of go, it wasn't that bad. Arsene's excuse for pushing Mourinho is that he was in his space. Is this correct?
No, Mourinho was shouting from his area, and then Wenger went into his area and then gave out to him and gave him a push, and then Mourinho said, I tell him to get away from my area, and all this. That was it.
Wenger's the bully.
Yeah.
Wenger went for him.
Wenger wanted a red card. Yeah.
But he was right there. And
remember the time he got sent to the stands and didn't go high enough?
Man United.
Yeah.
And he was just
that was the greatest moment in the Premier League.
Dan, when was the last time that Arsenal did something that shocked you?
They won the FA Cup.
No, but
I actually thought they'd lose that.
I mean, I can say any team of the top 5 and a performance in the last couple of years that honestly, the only Arsenal one I can think of was years ago when they had David Beckham training with them and they tried some long balls against Blackburn, and I was like, look at this. That was about 2000 with Adebayor and Fabregas playing for them. Arsenal do nothing.
Yeah, I do agree.
Just treading. Forever fourth.
They will get fourth. They'll get their fourth, and they'll be happy.
Arsene Wenger reminds me of the old men in the gym that just walk around with their limp dick, not giving a fuck. They're like, this, I'm doing this, try and stop me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna play my way. I'm gonna lose, and I don't care.
Oh dear. Yeah. Well, no. Like you're right, but like
Chelsea didn't play.
What does he have to do? What does Arsenal have to do to leave?
If he has any
get
new
out.
ideas,
But what will Arsenal have to do before the board say it's over?
He should have left after the FA
Cup.
Cup. I think it would have been a perfect way to go out. A completely financially brilliantly run club.
Right.
There's some good players coming through. They're kind of going on more British core, but they're good technical British players.
Do you think Sanchez would have come if Arsenal had gone, if they were in a transition
Depends who
period?
they could have got.
Sanchez went for London.
Depends who they could get.
Maybe he wanted to just secure a slightly better squad. Maybe he'll go sooner than later.
Well, I think is his contract 3 years.
They'll keep giving him new contracts. It's his decision.
It's the whole thing, though. Like what he's done for the club, though. Like he's built it.
I'm
like
not saying
no, it's kind of like I know his record against the big teams is shocking, but it's kind of like can you sack him though?
Last
Like
15
you know?
attempts, City, Chelsea, and Man United in the last 15 attempts, he has no wins.
Yeah, it's poor.
It's terrible.
I know, like there's no one other manager who in the top 4 would probably be still in a job.
No, not a chance.
But I'm just saying for what he's done, it's very hard for them to actually get rid of him. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because he finishes in the fourth every year.
Like it'd be like you remember when Ferguson kind of took a bit of a dip there and Mourinho came in. People said like, oh, Ferguson has to go. Like he was not in 2005. Chelsea took over. Arsenal were still very strong. Liverpool won the Champions League. Now I know they're a bit off domestically, but these teams are doing things in the league. And while Man United got knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage, and Benfica knocked them out, Basel knocked them out a couple of times as well. Like it was just. People go, oh, I think Ferguson's lost it. Now, I know there's a difference in Ferguson and Wenger. Ferguson built another team. But you can't go, oh, we have to get rid of Ferguson. I just think there is just this loyalty, and it is very difficult to do that.
I was watching the match yesterday, and me and the guys were saying how awful it must be to be a Chelsea fan, because it's boring. Like, they scored that penalty, and we went game over. Like, that's it.
Oh, no, yeah, it was game over. You know when Chelsea...
And then I think it's even worse to be an Arsenal fan, because they know they're going to lose in Stamford Bridge. I assume Liverpool are going to lose in Stamford Bridge.
I think if it went 0-0 to second half, I think it would have been a very close game. I don't think Arsenal were second best really for the first half.
Well,
I didn't think they were too bad.
To say how relaxed and how comfortable Chelsea were, Diego Costa played 90 minutes.
That's a fact.
It could be because Dave internationally doesn't give a fuck that he's going to Spain, but takes him off at any injury for high intensity for anything. Like rested him for a Champions League game against Schalke, who were probably the best team in their thing.
Yeah, second best. Well,
definitely didn't play him. And no, nothing. Just here you go. Fabregas hoofs the ball up 2-0. Great finish, great ball.
Yeah. So the second goal was Costa in the 70-something minute, and it was an incredible goal. It's 9 goals now for Costa already.
Oh yeah, because I think like Van Nistelrooy would have had a good enough start as well when he joined Man United.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to think that Torres had a pretty decent start when he joined the Premier League as well. But nothing like that though. It's incredible.
So I think Chelsea marching on to probably make all our predictions come true when it comes to the top of the league.
Look, we can't say yet, but it's
looking
the whole
great.
thing. You can't let Mourinho's teams get in front.
Well,
because like
they couldn't be in a better place right now.
Like they've gone to City as well and got a point there.
Oh yeah,
like City have to come to Stamford Bridge now and win, and they'll be probably, another big team is going to have to go there and win, and then they're going to be hoping that like a team like West Ham or something can beat them, like just like they did last year, like or Palace or something like that, just to annoy them, like what they drop. They won't drop those points this year. Mourinho will not let that happen. You know?
Absolutely.
Like, and he did say this would be the year you judge this Chelsea team. He said last year, forget about last year, we're not going to win anything. He actually said that.
Yeah.
He says we have to learn, because they were like Ancelotti, AVB, Di Matteo, like Benitez, they were kind of playing completely, they're changing styles every year, and he says we're playing this style, 1 year getting used to it, next year we'll win it.
The game that was delayed because of TV coverage due to Chelsea Arsenal's delay was West Ham Queen's Park Rangers. West Ham winning 2-0. We basically talked about this earlier.
It was Spurs Southampton, wasn't it?
No,
that happened at the
same
time.
We just didn't talk about that one.
Yeah. So we talked about West Ham already. QPR, we can pretty much assume are gone.
That wasn't
that's sorry, good one.
That was a big win for Spurs. Not that it was a big win, but Pochettino I'd imagine would be getting edged towards the door if he had lost to Southampton at home.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is remember saying with the QPR game, that's a team now who should be trying to get bonuses because the wages are paying. Like, when they remember the year they got relegated the first time? I think they bought, didn't they buy your man, Christopher Samba off, Angie?
Do you think?
They gave him, 95 grand a week. It's just like, what? Like, does he really care if they stay up if he's getting that money?
No.
You know, like your man Tony Fernandez is an absolute idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing in that club. He reminds me of Peter Ridsdale so much. Like they're going to go down again with him.
5 divisions.
And if they go down and they don't pay 50 million to the financial fair play, they're getting deducted to the conference.
Yeah. Do you know that money goes to all the other clubs in the 4 leagues?
Does it?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Leeds will get off
Leeds get a bit of money, yeah.
Yeah, so for those of you we just covered there, Spurs beating Southampton because Christian Eriksen goal 1-0. Just 2 more things on the Chelsea-Arsenal game actually coming out of it. Courtois received a knock to the head early on, played 10 more minutes and then was taken off and brought to the hospital. Now, he was brought to the hospital for precautionary measures.
Yeah, he's out now, he's grand.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
shouldn't have been allowed back on.
This concussion in football stuff is it's going to hit an apex and something's going to happen.
It happened Lloris last year, remember, against Everton.
Yeah.
He went off.
He chose to play.
He came back on. He was unconscious for about 30 seconds.
It should not be.
It's just like, how can the doctors...
Mascherano in the World Cup. Do you remember Mascherano in the World Cup? And he fell over and they're like, we better go.
He was incredible for the start of the match.
It
was like
still, though,
game, wasn't
he
it?
shouldn't have been... Yeah, these people... And of all the teams to know about a head injury to a goalkeeper...
Yeah. Like... Czech was straight out. I was like, "Oh right, I'm in."
Yeah,
but like to be fair, this wasn't like Stephen Hunt who actually tried to kill
Czech.
Hold on, I don't think he tried to kill him.
Well, no, I think he definitely off the leg end though.
I don't think so.
I don't think. Really.
Well, no, Sanchez completely. Tried it was actually Courtois' momentum took him into Sanchez.
Oh, I don't think
decent sub keeper to have though.
He can't complain.
He got a bigger cheer nearly. Like,
did Arsenal have a chance at all? Did they? On Czech?
Not in the first.
Wilshere and Cazorla went close with 2 shots.
What was Welbeck's challenge? That's good.
That's another red card. And Koscielny should have gone as well. There should have been 3. And then
what a play by Hazard, actually. I want to give credit where credit's due.
He was class.
That play for that assist was
class. But the thing is, I think was annoying Wenger as well in that match was the amount of hacks and just little sneaky fells. I think he's just like, they're never going to get booked for him. Not unless you do. Say he was like
Rooney.
Just for example, Matic doing... Maybe he'd have to do probably about 4 of them to get booked.
I could tell that was
and then you'd probably get 1 more warning after you're booked. So you got 5. That's what was actually happening. So anytime they got him feeling, just kick.
All this talk before kick-off that Liverpool are struggling and Arsenal are unbeaten. Same point.
But I think Arsenal's start of the season has been quite tough, to be fair.
Liverpool have played City away and Spurs away, and all the teams that they struggled against last year.
Merseyside Derby, all the teams they struggled against last year, like Villa.
Liverpool's thing has been a lot harder than Arsenal's.
Yeah. Both tough starts, I think. Though,
well, Wenger's not receiving a ban for the
Doesn't
push.
look like it. I think the referee dealt with it. I think that's what the FA kind of do. If the referee deals with the situation, that's why, like, you see it's like a ridiculously horrible tackle and they give a yellow card. It's like, why wasn't that a red? Like, that was a leg breaker. It should be banned. Like, or say someone punches someone and he just gives a yellow or something. Like
that match could have done with a red card.
If the referee deals with it in the match and puts it in his report, I've dealt with it. It's not unless he actually wants to follow it up. If the referee's already dealt with it, he can't get banned. That's what happens.
So okay, let's talk about some Champions League stuff from last week that took place just after we pretty much finished posting the show. Basel and Liverpool, Basel beating Liverpool 1-0.
Called it.
Yeah. He did actually, yeah.
It was just a very sad, sorry
performance. Well, Basel have an unbelievable record. They've beaten Chelsea United
against the English clubs.
They've beaten Man United twice.
They
knocked them out. They
got home and away against Chelsea last year. But now Liverpool were dreadful. Didn't have the looking like it came down to 2 moments for me. Mingale makes a good save, even though the defender behind him probably would have saved. Falls to the striker who scores, and then Liverpool get a free kick, falls to Markovic, and somehow the defender's back there to clear it off.
Do you rate him? I said to you I don't like him.
He's a 20-year-old. You can't exactly turn around to me and say Sterling looks great, even though he's out of form, and then say Markovic doesn't look like a player.
But we know Sterling's a player.
I don't know.
But I don't know. I just thought
I don't think
Markovic
you can judge a 20-year-old.
Headless chicken kind of like.
I just didn't think the injuries have really taken effect on us, and I don't think he expected Markovic, Balotelli, and Sterling to play in
Europe.
Yeah. You're kind of. I think Lallana coming back is a big player for you.
Yeah,
I think he's good.
The goal could do him the world of good at the weekend. Arsenal.
Ricky still hasn't scored though.
I'm gonna
Ricky.
I know.
I'm gonna live tweet the Liverpool Real Madrid match, so I have something to fucking do during that slaughter.
Is that 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks.
Okay.
Is it in Anfield?
I don't know. I think the first match
Phil
is in Madrid.
Thompson said Liverpool are definitely going to win at Anfield. He said I'm 100% sure they'll win.
I would be interested to see the form and also the atmosphere, because it's still, no matter how big Real Madrid are, Liverpool is still a big place to go for these sort of places.
Absolutely. Like, I think Liverpool is especially.
And I'm not saying Real Madrid are definitely a better club, but you know how Ronaldo can get a bit stroppy. This is my moment type thing. And
yeah, but if you stop, if Ronaldo doesn't play, then you got Bale, you got.
Oh, I'm not saying we absolutely got, but
Cruz,
the way Real Madrid are playing so attacking at the minute, it might suit like a team like if Liverpool come out and do it like they did to Arsenal and
counter.
We definitely could, especially Serge being back. Okay, Galatasaray were shellacked 4-1 by Arsenal.
Welb's hat trick.
Becoming
the only third Arsenal player to score a hat trick. Do you know the other two
in Europe?
Yeah,
Henry against Inter Milan.
Yeah,
and who did you get the other one?
Van Persie ever do it in Europe?
No, he only scored his first hat trick for United 2 years ago.
Let me have a look here. Would it be a guy recent? Is it?
Yeah,
it's a Podolski.
No,
Walcott.
No.
Adebayor?
No. It's the world's best player.
Ratner.
Yeah, gets Porto.
He scored a hat trick.
He didn't. He didn't though. So that's where it all came from. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, Galatasaray. I was looking at the Galatasaray team sheet, and they've really fallen quite a lot in the last 2 seasons.
I don't understand why Felipe Melo was playing centre of a back three.
Yeah.
What's going on there? He was actually a decent defensive midfielder about 5 years ago.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, now he's bold now and shit. But yeah, the Galatasaray fans are causing ructions again.
PSG. What happened?
Schneider and the goalkeeper Muslera had to go over and tell them to stop and literally behave themselves because like they're all setting off flares and they were kind of going mad in the stadium and they were like literally Schneider says like we can't play the match. And 2 of them went over. They eventually calmed down.
They had to go over and tell their own fans to behave.
Thugs there.
PSG had Barcelona's number on Tuesday
match.
Night. It was great fun to watch.
This should have been a draw though. Should have been 3-3.
Ibra-less PSG. It should
and
be
I think
noticed.
even more Thiago Silva-less.
Oh yeah, of course. And Cavani really didn't look great either.
You know who did look great? Beckham and Jay-Z and Beyonce in the crowd.
They did indeed. Yeah, they were all sitting there watching the match. Poor Beyonce. I doubt she really enjoyed it very much. Just got a feeling looking at her.
She's in Paris, shopping capital of the world.
It's true.
She's having a great time.
She probably was overall. It was, it was the one thing maybe he wanted to do. So you think it was like Beckham convinced him? It was like, I was really shite when I played for this team, but they were really nice to me.
Great.
I can get freebies if we go.
I think it was great.
I don't know if he did much for them, did he?
No, I think it was
to be fair to him, when he went there, he donated all his wages to charity, which I liked. I like that now. That was that was a good spot.
He probably got to keep his cut of the jersey sales.
I would imagine, and he didn't have to pay tax, so I'd say he probably actually got away with it.
He does pay tax over there.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it was still a nice gesture, though. Like you should see that more often.
Yeah, no, it was.
Very good. That match should have been 3-3 though.
Okay, why?
Barca penned them in the last 20 minutes. Sandro missed a really good chance, and
Sandro did miss a very good chance.
Munir, the other young lad, hit the post, and the block from Marquinhos was incredible.
I told you he was great, didn't I?
Oh no, I've agreed. I think he's brilliant.
Is Sandro Spanish?
Sandro, I think so.
Or is he Brazilian?
I think he is. Munir is Spanish. He's made his full debut for Spain. Actually, he's made his full debut for Barcelona. Scored a goal for Barcelona. Made his debut for the under-21 Spanish team, and made his debut for the national team all in 2 months.
What a life!
Yeah, not bad. No one ever heard of him before. Like actually, he scored a goal from 40 yards last year with the Barcelona Bees. He did a Xabi Alonso.
Good man himself. We'll talk about Xabi now in a minute. Man City and Roma, my favourite moment of the European action this week. So all the Man City fans are basically tweeting out how Toddy had never scored in England, and not only did he score, but he scored the ultimate typical Toddy goal. I
can't believe you were watching, and I just said Toddy. Just texted Neil. It's like Toddy, and it's like, what? It's like
I just couldn't.
He scored. Neil, put it on.
You see what Roma tweeted City back?
No.
It's like, we'll see you next time in our place. You've never won in Italy, have you?
I love it. That Toddy goal was incredible. He showed actual pace. It was a through ball from, I can't remember who actually played it through. Was it Belgian?
He might be getting in a bit of trouble now.
Totsky.
Did anyone watch the Roma Juventus match?
What did he say? He said Juventus are taking bribes again. They're fixing matches. He said,
three penalties.
It's hard
2 red cards.
It's hard to beat the ref again and all this. And yeah, he's pretty much saying that Juventus couldn't beat him.
Like all penalties were a bit like
soft.
Yeah, it was. Hold on.
Did you see Bonucci's goal, the winner?
That's my goal of the week. Yeah, it was incredible. Gervinho's true ball out for Roma second as well. Like Roma were going in at half time leading and like they'd never.
Why is the Italian league the best league to watch this year? It's been incredible. Probably.
So the final score was 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Juventus are finally.
Totti's like, as long as Juventus are in this league, we'll never have a chance. And stuff.
But are they really that behind them? Like, you know the way there's all these conspiracies.
They came second last season, so they're not super behind them.
No, Juventus. I mean,
Juventus just never drop points.
Yeah. I looked at the Juve team.
Who's there now? Is it Prandelli there?
The midfield is incredible. The Juve team. Who was it? It was Vidal, Pogba.
No.
Vidal didn't start?
No, Vidal was out a couple of...
Yeah.
He was out on a night out a couple of days beforehand.
He came on, though, didn't he?
He got in a bit of a scuffle.
Did he?
He was dropped for the big match.
Oh.
And Pirlo played his first game since his injury.
Yes.
Here, Vidal says, well, I have no interest in joining Man United over the summer.
I still think he'll go.
He probably will. It's probably wave a massive check on him. Fuck it, I'll go.
Okay.
No,
so 1-1 for City and Roma. It just seems that City and Europe aren't mixing, and they haven't been.
There's no fear factor.
I don't understand it, because I actually thought Pellegrini would bring that in, because he has a very good record in Europe previously.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Scholes was scathing about the City fans on the ITV coverage.
Yeah, they're all the fans you can hear behind me, by the way.
The Champions League tickets aren't part of their season ticket, so they have to pay for them individually, and they're not arsed.
They're not arsed.
But it is a shame, though. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Well, it's the difference, because like City are similar to Chelsea, that they bought their success. They bought their success, and the difference was Chelsea brought in Jose Mourinho, who turned them into a big club almost by himself, like the whole the special one, beating United, beating Barcelona, all that sort of stuff. I think he beat Barcelona, but he had a decent Champions League run. No one's done that for Man City yet, so they're still a small club when it comes to Europe.
Well, like he nearly won it with, the Yellow Submarines in 2006.
Yeah, but he didn't with it.
Well, if Riquelme had scored the last minute penalty, they were in the final.
Yes, which
they would play Barca.
So they got to the semi-final one year.
Yeah, well, like he'd proven though, and he did very well with Malaga there 2 years ago as well.
Yeah, like Rafa got.
If it wasn't for the referee, actually,
if it
wasn't for the referee, they would have got to the semi-final that year. No, they probably wouldn't have won it, but he's proven in Europe, which I thought there was signs last year. They improved. In Europe. What?
He's played in Europe. Like how many managers have won the Champions League in the last few years? Like?
Yeah, but he's gone by his pedigree. Like he's a decent record in Europe.
He's an alright record, yeah, with a small club, so I'll give it that. Similar to Rafa. Give Rafa the job. That's what I say. If there's
You're just dying for Rafa to leave Napoli, aren't you?
I'm surprised he's still there.
I just think he wants to go back to Liverpool, be Brendan's assistant.
See, I do
defensive
want that.
coach.
I do want
defensive
that too.
Coach.
A mixture of both of them. I can't handle either of them right now.
So. A mixture of both of them would be incredible.
I have to say that some of the Liverpool fans, I've been reading tweets literally looking for Rodgers to be sacked. It's just like, guys, honestly, like we're talking about like Wenger there earlier. Like people actually do a good job, and once it goes bad, like I'm just saying, like you can't just sack man. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the culture that's been created by the last 10 years, and boards and chairmen and owners being very reluctant to stick with somebody.
It's some just ridiculous things you hear.
Look, listen. The fact is that these people must have goldfish memory, and it's Twitter, and I think every single fan will happily say, every single fan who has any kind of shred of decency will admit that these Twitter people aren't representative of the general consensus of that club's fans. I haven't met any serious Liverpool fan that would dream of getting
but maybe it's just a bit of tongue in cheek as well, but
it might be
like if Leeds ever win, we're getting promoted, oh my god, that was close.
Is that what you were trying to say to me earlier?
No, I said it's too hot in here and turn off that radiator because
okay. I can do that. It's not very unprofessional to say that at all. It really isn't. I can do that.
Grand, go for it.
Can I continue my Europe thing since I've started with the Roma thing? Can I?
You can.
Go ahead.
You don't need permission.
Germany, Bayern Munich are now the same amount of points that if you added their two closest competitor, Dortmund and Schalke's points together. So that league's pretty much over.
What? In the Bundesliga?
Dortmund are really struggling.
Jeez.
Yeah. Bayern were 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes. I'm not even sure they were playing when Xabi Alonso tried to Xabi Alonso.
You did it again.
Neil's falling apart.
Neil, you're doing what I usually do here.
I told you not to ask me to turn off the radio.
I mentioned Xabi Alonso, and Neil's just throwing stuff against the wall. No,
he's broken some records this week as well.
You've broken some mics as well.
It's working.
And this is the main thing. This is for my my small football fans. The Icelandic League finished this week, right? And the final match was between the top two clubs that were both unbeaten.
Wow. For the league?
For the league.
So they drew earlier and they just kept going?
Yeah, they were unbeaten, both of them, right?
Wow.
And it came to the final match.
Draw.
Right, and I'm just going to call them Team A and Team B, right? Because the names are bloody
Reykjavik probably is one or something.
And in 1-1, in the last minute, the referee gives a penalty to Team B.
Stop.
Who I think are called, like, Shimenine or something.
Sounds about right.
It's madness. Which are the team from those YouTube videos of celebrations all those years ago. Do you remember them? The salmon and all that sort of stuff?
I do.
Oh, is that the one that did the fishing?
Yeah, these guys.
And then he flips like...
Yeah, anyway, they score, they win the league in the last minute of the last day, and the referee has to take a police escort home because the other fans are so annoyed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mad Icelandic fellas.
And the context of this is I pay more attention to the Icelandic league than I do the Irish league.
That would be a perfect segue. Did you go through Xabi's records? Or do you want to do that later?
Yeah, I'll put him as he's a candidate for here.
Okay, that's great.
So I'll talk about it.
So let's pretend that I didn't fuck that up, and it is a great segue. Dan, you have a Ireland preview for the international games coming up, don't you?
Well, this is they were playing Gibraltar this week, and whatever the two best players, and that'll also be the same for Germany match, which is next week.
Yeah.
So like we've no right back. I was going through the squad. We have no other right back to replace Seamus Coleman.
Neither do Everton.
Tony Hibbert.
Exactly.
Well, we actually don't have even Tony Hibbert to put there. Like I was thinking, we might actually have to put like Wilson there or something, or John O'Shea. But we've actually no other right back, or call him Paul McShane or something.
This, I've been off booze now for the last few weeks. If I get through this week, it's going to be a fucking miracle. I don't even think I'll watch them.
Just hide in your room.
I'll arrive in the show and describe Mayo, Jail and Daily in the gym or something.
That's what you're good for.
Well, Enda brought a ridiculous segment in last week. So
only the one. What did he say?
Enda brought in a couple of ridiculous segments last week.
If you are doing GQ, most ridiculous outfit was Alex Song. You know, see, he was giving a bit of an interview, and
what did he have?
Just looked like a pair of curtains.
I saw people giving Balotelli stick because he was out on Merseyside out in the town, and he was doing a double denim. I do double denim.
But you can kind of pull it off though.
He's wearing double denim with like denim shorts and and black loafers. He looked phenomenal. Okay, when is the first Ireland match?
Saturday. They're playing at 5 o'clock against Gibraltar.
And when's the Germany match?
I think next Tuesday.
Good.
Tuesday week. So but they're missing like half their team. But Scotland went there and probably should have won. Yeah. Like we should actually go and just have a go at them. Like I think there's nothing to lose.
Do we have any players quality enough to give Germany a go?
If McLean and McGeady are fit, we'll be able to get behind them, and behind the fullbacks because they're weak at fullbacks.
McLean, what's he doing? Is he still alive?
Is he
the saviour for
the
Euros?
Maybe still injured?
Trapattoni out if he didn't get a goal. He's playing for Wigan, isn't he?
Well, who else is there?
He is playing for Wigan because we'll get to it later. But I recently took the Wigan job because I had no other options, and he asked to leave.
Now, this isn't FIFA, by the way. Uwe Rosler wasn't sacked. Just letting everyone know that.
We'll get to it later.
Okay.
Yeah, we've no right back, and I think if we actually attack down the wings and try to get in behind the full backs, because Lam isn't there, they're playing your man. Is it Rost or Durst or something? He's a Dortmund right back. He's like a young lad or something, and then they've got like Howardez is still left back. I don't think he's not really a left back though. He's more of a centre back.
He is the left side centre back.
So I don't know. You can maybe get in behind them then maybe, and there's no Schweinsteiger still. Royce is injured. You know, there's still I think there is. Hummels is injured. We're not going to win, but have a go with them. Like, just have a go. You know, who cares? We're gonna lose 5-0 anyway. You know.
Okay. We spoke about the La Liga action. Anything else besides Real and Barca's victories this week worth noting?
Seville did well.
What else, John?
Atletico Madrid's captain is in court for match fixing.
Yes. He did.
What?
Gabby's
for Zaragoza.
He was in court on Friday for match fixing.
And when did he supposedly do this?
When he paid for
Levante.
It
was what happened.
They paid Zaragoza to lose.
Zaragoza he used to play for. Got relegated. They're kind of a bit of a yo-yo team there. They were for a while. They got relegated. I think it was 2010 or 11. Gabby then went straight to Atletico Madrid after that and became club captain. But apparently, it's coming out that Zaragoza were actually told him to do it. They said you have to throw this game.
Yeah. They paid them.
They paid them.
They collected money and paid them. So yeah, they were told.
So maybe it could have been his wages. We don't know. But I don't know. you can't actually say he gives nothing but 100% for Atletico Madrid. So I don't know.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
Like Zaragoza have been in a lot of trouble financially, so I don't know. Maybe there could be something.
Is Messi in court today?
Oh yeah, he's in court.
He's in court for the next few
week.
days.
Is this next week? Is it?
No, it's this week.
See him on the bench, eh? Sorry.
See ya. See you on the bench.
I wonder what'll happen with that. It's an odd one, isn't it?
It's going to be really interesting.
Apparently they gave a valid argument, but they still want to have him in court. So.
I think what's going to happen is I think he's going to be found. Like, I think it was all of his advisors, and it was his former agent. They said was dealing his affairs.
Isn't his dad his agent?
No, they had a guy at home working at the
Jorge was kind of his player agent for his contract. I think the other guy was like looking after some of his like tax affairs and accounts and all that. And that was between 2007 and 9. I think that's when it all is from. So, but I don't see why he'd bother or even want to say 4 million. Like, to be honest, I really don't see why you even need to. You know, and then like, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to make an example of him. And if they're going to make an example of him, the random guy from Catalonia is going to be like, oh fuck, I better do my taxes and make sure I'm not scamming the system. If they make an example of him, even if they go to give him a warning. If they give Messi a warning and I have him in court, what's going to happen to poor Alejandro sitting there in, you know, the middle of Catalan? Like, you know, I literally think that's what they're going to do. Okay. Like, there's no way they'll throw him in jail. Right? Like, I think he'll be. I don't think
they'll be throwing him in jail.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like,
they definitely
won't he's already paid back the money and everything. Like, it's just like it's 4 million is nothing to him. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I think it'll be all sorted. But
League of Ireland, Dan.
I saw the final 10 minutes of the Rovers match.
That's the only thing. It's the only thing you needed to see.
There was the Rovers match from yesterday. There was a cup match, wasn't it?
Got very excited.
It was desperate.
Okay, what happened?
Nothing happened for the first 78 minutes.
Then Rovers took the lead and the crowd went wild.
The crowd went fucking mad, and I was like, "Oh my god, we're 2 minutes away from Europe for the first time in 3 years, and what happened? We consumed."
And then Derry equalised, and then they almost scored again.
And then Barry Malloy got a great save by Murphy, fantastic, and it was fucking 1-1. So the fucking replay is tomorrow on Tuesday.
Are you going up?
The Derry, that's a 4-hour drive to that.
I'll go with you.
I'll go.
No, I said I'd go to the cup final if you go.
Would you?
Yeah.
Be Rovers v Pats if that's that case, because Pats, I might go to the cup final anyway. It's Pats beat Finn Harp 6-1. They were always going to beat them, but
so the winner of the final gets into Europe.
No, Pats are in the final now.
Yeah.
So it's like the FA Cup. So Pats have already solidified at least third.
All right.
No, well they could finish fourth if Rovers win all their matches and Pats lose a few. So essentially, if Rovers get to the final, they're playing Pats. So the two of them either of them will get third.
Okay. And how many times do you have to play people in the cup?
Just the one.
Or in this case, twice. Because this is not, you're playing Derry twice in a week.
Yeah, it's a replay though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So you
can't be confused about this one now, surely.
You're going to be playing Derry at least 5 times this year.
Yes, we played Dundalk played them twice in the Santa Cup, 3 times in the league, and twice in the FAI Cup.
Okay.
So we played them 8 times or something.
I don't know when we're going to record the show next week. A part of me wants to maybe do it after the Germany match. Now, I'm not saying immediately after it, but I'm saying like maybe on the Thursday or something. So what we're also going to do, because we'll only have international, is we're going to save our FIFA ways and woes until then. Because we might play some FIFA this weekend too. And I've got literally a 10-minute rant, and I know John wants to explain his story about is it Wigan that you're moving on to, Pastures New?
Yeah.
So we're going to save that till next week. So let's talk about last week's teaser, and you've got a new question from this week, don't you?
I do, actually.
Okay, go for it, Dan.
Okay, so will I give the answers first?
Yes, into the mic, darling, please.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so the question last week was name 4 Spanish players to score for AC Milan, and so 4 Spanish players to score for AC Milan. Do you know any, John?
Torres.
Yeah, that's the way I thought it.
Bojan.
Yeah. And the other 2 you are very hard. If anyone got this, I actually would be impressed.
Did anyone get it?
No.
Okay.
Twitter's been quiet this week, but I haven't really been.
Yeah. The other 2 were
because you weren't here, man.
Jose Marie and Xavi Moreno. There were 2. Jose Marie was a winger in 2001 for AC Milan, And Xavi Moreno was a big striker they had for about 6 months. He was a flop, but he got one. Obviously, scored one.
The only thing I did on the Twitter this week was tweet out that emo picture of Cesc Fabregas, which I love.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So check that out.
What year is that from? 2006.
2006.
It was
2004.
It was 2005.
It
was the jersey. It was essentially the final year.
Yeah.
At Highbury.
Yeah, I was a year off.
So the teaser this week.
Okay, go for it.
Is 6 English players to score a Champions League hat-trick. So I'm going to try every teaser is to try and have a relation to something. So obviously Torres scored for Milan last week, and that's why I brought.
Is it Champions League qualifiers as well?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
so you know who one of them is.
Yeah, is it qualifiers? You know.
No, it's Champions League proper, and no, it's not that man.
I have another Liverpool player that did it. So
okay.
Well, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, you don't ruin it. Yeah, you can tell me after.
Okay. That's awesome. So say it one more time, Dan.
6 English players to score a Champions League hat-trick, and that will be not qualifying. It's only in the group stage.
Groups or beyond. Okay.
The new Henri that we mentioned earlier.
That's why I'm trying to make it relevant to somewhat, you know.
So there's something that will happen in the current day affairs that will trigger a question.
Yeah, or else I'll just have to Google one.
Okay, that's awesome. All right, lads, let's talk about our Premier League team of the week.
I have one. Can I do it? I have De Gea in goal. His saves at the end were just worth it.
They were world class.
I think Raphael played really well, so I have him in.
2 Man United players?
I have 3 United players.
3?
Yeah. I have Robertson from Hull. He played well. Kabul from Spurs. Again, clean sheet.
So I just want to... Sorry, that's 2 weeks in a row Kabul's gotten in. But we took Kabul out last week, didn't we?
We took him out for McNair.
Jeez, Kabul. Season of his life. All right, go ahead.
I have Tony...
He's captain as well. Like, why is he captain?
Outrageous.
I've Tony Hibbert in it because seeing him make a darting run to the box is one of the...
They really miss Coleman, don't they?
Yeah, I have Di Maria, goal and assist, played quite well. I have Henderson, goal and assist, played very well. I have Gomez off Sunderland. I think he had a good match. And I have Sigurdsson, and then I have Cisse and Fletcher up front.
Okay, well...
How many differences do you have?
A few. I'd have De Gea. I put Ivanovic in. I thought he just kept Arsenal pretty quiet.
Like Limptic.
I had Tom... Yeah, exactly, yeah. Tompkins and Chester, they kept clean sheets, so put them in. And Kolarov I thought was pretty good for City, bombing up and on the left. Most of the balls. Which I can't believe you didn't put in, to be honest. Hazard had to be in there.
I think Di Maria was better.
I put Fernando in as well. So Fernando's going to hold as this is going to be Fernando holding because he did really well when he came on. I'm going to put Hazard, Silva, and Di Maria ahead of him. And then I've got Costa and...
Costa. He did nothing.
Yeah, why am I putting Costa in there?
I have no idea.
Aguero and Fletcher.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Let me tell you this, or let me ask you this. When it comes to picking the team of the week, do you facilitate the team dependent on the players, or do you go with a stock 4-4-2 and they just I would
try to... Now, I might have to put a right back at left back, but you can... You know, look, Chelsea have been doing that for 15 months now. So if Mourinho can do it, I can do it.
Okay, that's actually a fair point.
I did put Fernando in there just to shore it up, and you can have 3 lads kind of run off him.
Let me ask you a Chelsea question. Surely, the big debate this season, is he super sub or is he a starter? He obviously started the game.
Depends who they're playing.
Okay.
If it's weak teams that are easy to get at, he plays. If it's strong teams, he starts on the bench and they play Ramirez.
After the World Cup, me and you were surefire you needed to start every single game, weren't we?
He was amazing at the World Cup.
He really was.
That volley against Brazil.
As much, I'm going to complain about Monday Night Football lately because I think they're taking the fun out of football. But they are...
they're kind of turning into Dunphy and Giles a bit, aren't they?
They're like that.
What? Tell me.
The whole thing about... I'll hate it till the day I die, but that Jagielka goal against Liverpool was an absolute screamer, and they're just talking nonsense about how Mingele should have saved this bullet.
That actually did come under huge criticism. A video went around. It was pretty much... Was it just after we finished the show last week the video came out? It would have been because we had started the show during Monday Night Football. And yeah, video came out. Joe.e or one of the usual suspects had put up Gary Neville basically physically showing out of his seat, out of his chair.
Gary Neville, I actually do like him as a pundit. But what does he know about goalkeeping, to be fair? He's a right back.
If you're playing football for that amount of time...
I do agree he should have been higher. But I don't think he would have saved it, though.
There's no player in the world... they could show Di Maria's assist to Falcao and be like, look at Messi here, though. This is what Messi does. Messi beats the man and scores. Like,
yeah,
there's always going to be a better player.
And then the whole thing as well with Mignolet, like, you know, I still don't think he's brilliant, but the way Neville crouched down, or he was crouching higher. Yeah. But if you have a jump, if you have to jump across, especially like to a left or right side, are you going to get a better jump from standing higher or standing lower? Like, you're going to get up from a lower position because you can get more spring from your quads, and you can actually get that spring. That's why I think Mignolet's doing it. It's something to do with that. I don't think he's a great goalkeeper anyway.
I was watching the Champions League there on Wednesday, and the Liverpool match. It was dreadful, but the talk. I think they had a 20-minute segment on Balotelli, and like not once were they like, well, he's a new player, the new club, and he's playing up front by himself. Like, it's not easy. He's not getting support. They're like, just not a good player. No, like Graham Souness, just like, you're not talking about football in any way. Like, they're just useless.
Then we see Graham Souness this week saying he loved being physically abused.
Remember he said Ronaldo was raping the fullback.
Oh, you raped them. You raped them.
Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, sorry about that.
You ever see the Kevin Keegan interview where he goes, "This is my wife. I think I abuse her."
Good old Kevin.
Jesus Christ. He was talking. He was just.
Did you ever go to a barber's and go, "Have Kevin Keegan, please"?
He was talking about the physicality, I think, of the Chelsea Arsenal match, and he goes a few players out there, you know, don't look like they're up for it, and he goes, I didn't mind getting physically abused. That was the way he put it.
That's alright. Yeah.
That's fine.
But he is right though. Like, it is easier. Like what they were kind of saying though, like it is easier to actually fight and tackle than to play like that football Arsenal can play. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's actually easier to just go and kick someone than to do like a little trick, get past 2 or 3, and then ping a lovely pass or try to split. Like, it's easier to kick.
You had a few
and just to bash them back.
You had a few shouts each for goal of the week.
I have the Juventus winner.
Yeah, I would have gone for that.
You're sticking with that too?
Yeah,
would have been Xabi Alonso.
There wasn't many great goals this weekend.
Lallana got a nice goal.
Tell me about Xabi's goal. Alonso's goal.
He didn't score, but he tried to score from his own hand.
Okay, that's
he tried the ping from.
He's on 5 man of the match performances.
5 man of the match performances.
And broken records for touching the ball.
Most passes, most touches, and most distance covered. 5 man of the matches.
The distance covered one I couldn't believe. I thought at this stage in the game he
must just have Lamb sitting behind him, and Alonso's literally just, I'm just going to go literally where I want and influence.
He was the playmaker of a very defensive Rafa Benitez team, and he had to hold a lot for Real Madrid and didn't have to get involved. For Dortmund,
Bayern.
But Bayern, sorry, there's no fear, I don't think, of people getting in behind him. So he's probably having a great time.
But I think as well, I said this to you yesterday, Guardiola is the first manager who can nurture a midfielder.
That's true. But no, just go back to his point real quick. The idea of his roles at Liverpool and at Madrid. The year he had his best and most influential year was when Mash's job was to break up the play.
Exactly, yeah. That's why he had great time at Real Madrid, but I think if he had another player behind him, Real Madrid.
And I think the way that defensively Munich are shaping up, especially with somebody like Phil Lam standing beside him.
He's almost playing like the way kind of Xavi Hernandez played kind of for a year or two, like kind of his best with Barca.
I think
he's playing more advanced.
As I say, he's the new Pirlo.
He is the new Pirlo.
He doesn't have to kind of.
It's incredible.
He doesn't have to kind of sit and hold. Now, obviously, he's still tactically brilliant, but he doesn't have to kind of have that kind of responsibility going, what's behind me? I've always got Lam, who's, he knows the score. Let's just say, so it's like it's perfect.
If Brendan had flown to Madrid, if he got a little inkling that he was leaving and brought Stevie with him and brought Moreno with him, saying, "Here's our little child," and they had all gone into a room together and gone, "Just please take our money," would he have come back?
I don't think so. I think Guillaume Balaguer, when he saw him, made a good point where he said he's a legend and a hero.
He doesn't want to take it.
If you can almost see how Drogba was a bit tainted, I think.
The time will tell, but yeah, like Drogba's last lift of a foot could have been scoring.
I obviously can't tell the future. I can't tell the future. Like,
no,
it's a long time that I will make my favourite Liverpool 11, and him and Gerrard won't be in the centre of the park.
No, I completely agree. Okay, so hero of the week.
Okay, I have 4. So I'm sorry about this. I have a lot.
You have to pick one though.
I also have Xavi. If you're making him being the most cap player in the Champions League,
5 then Xavi. He's in there for that.
How do you not have him?
Okay, so a good honourable one again. I think is Alonso for what he did with the 5 man of matches and he's playing amazing. We've talked about him enough today. Bayern Munich for what they did against CSKA Moscow. There was a skyscraper behind the match.
Oh, I heard about this. This is great.
The way they the Moscow fans have been done
for the FIFA about
for the racist abuse they were given to. It would have been, who was this? Who's their team?
No, I don't know. Zenit maybe. No, they're equally racist. I've no idea.
No, it was in the Champions League.
Oh,
who else is in that group?
Whose group? Sorry,
Man City, Bayern, Moscow,
Roma.
Yeah, it must have been at the Roma game, and they gave, that's a fucking tough group, isn't it?
Oh God,
Yeah, like even going to Moscow, like that's the worst seed you get as well. They got abused for that, or maybe Gervinho was getting it, I don't know. But so then they banned the fans from the match for the next probably 2 games or something.
Yeah.
And there's a skyscraper behind the Moscow stadium, and loads of people booked rooms and looked out the skyscraper to look at the match.
Yeah.
All Bayern Munich fans and people travelling all over the world to watch the match. And Bayern Munich got word of this, and they found all the fans who went, and they go, "We'll pay for all your rooms." Yeah. Like, what? Like a club?
FIFA said no. The only people who were allowed in the match were business people, sponsors and stuff.
Like, what a club that they're turning out to be. Like, it's just, what did you say there? Give up Sporting Barcelona and just follow Pep?
Oh yeah.
Well, in fairness,
Pep man.
It's incredible. Like, that's an amazing gesture.
I was a bit bored in work the other day and decided to look up at a few jerseys. Like, wanted to see how much a Bayern Munich jersey would land at the back. About €120. It's like,
I want one.
They've everything sorted.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, so they charge extortion for the merchandise, but what, €15 for a ticket?
It's
same amount of going to see Shamrock Rovers and Athlone City.
Who else do you have?
I have Giuseppe Bellucci. After what he did at the Leeds match, he got the equalising goal, and after the match, he sprinted 50 yards onto the Revy stand. And he kind of pulled a guy in a wheelchair back, took off his jersey, and just gave it to him.
Nice.
Just like ran up to him. It's just incredible. Like,
is there any backstory? Like, had he met him before the match or something?
I haven't heard it, but I think he would have been behind the goal. So maybe he would have. Belushi's a centre half, so maybe he might have seen him or something.
Oh yeah.
But that would be it. Like, incredible.
That just gives me bad nightmares. At the time I was in Liverpool, John and Arisa pulled out beside me, seemed to point at me to give me his jersey. Gave it to a girl beside me.
Was she legitimately like the seat beside you?
No, it was outside.
Oh, right.
Was she hot?
She was about 12, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay. Can you edit that?
The last...
Should be just glad it wasn't Bale.
Yeah. The last person now, and I think he probably does deserve it, Stilian Petrov is back playing football.
What?
Yeah, I don't know who he's playing with, but he's playing...
It's Sunday League.
Must be Sunday League or something. He's playing, and it's just because he's back after Zucchini.
The old Middlesbrough player, Arca, is also...
Julio Arca is playing Sunday League, and they're paying him like £10 a week.
The Sunday League is building up quite well.
Yeah, like apparently he's just sits in midfield and just sprays. Like, he got a few caps for Argentina, I think.
That's fucking insane.
He's played for Sunderland and Middlesbrough. He was captain of Middlesbrough not so long ago, about 2 years ago.
Nice. So okay.
I think that's a pretty good hero of the week now.
If you do say so.
I don't really have any spoofers though. So
I have one, and
do you have any heroes?
The spoofer. No, I already said it to you.
Cool.
It's Xavi for being the most captain.
Spoofer Sacco would have to be up there anyway for burning his house down.
No, well that's
water.
It. But the spoofer is legend of the game, David Villa.
What did he do? He started training, didn't he?
He said he's not arriving to the Aussie League until a week before the league because he wants to catch as many dates of the Enrique Iglesias tour as he can.
So who? David Villa?
Yeah.
Wow.
What? He kind of has a similar look to.
Well, unless he's like going up there as the double, just in case something happens to poor Enrique Iglesias.
He's such a big Enrique Iglesias fan. He won't fly to play for his new club until
the tour is over.
What a player he was, though. By the way,
there was a few years where you could argue he's the best.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I remember like when Torres had his amazing year at Liverpool, like V was right as good as him. To be honest,
but he was at Valencia as well.
Yeah,
like I remember until he broke his leg in 2011, November 2011, just killed him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was kind of at that age where he was at his peak, and at one bad injury he was gone.
I don't think Barcelona were a good move for him. It was
incredible.
He was incredible, but he was just such a small part and had to move around for Messi. I think if he moved for a club, he would have been perfect for like Rafa's Liverpool. Like I know we got Torres instead, but the pace and the one-sided strike.
No, the thing with Villa though, like he was the goal he scored in the Champions League final.
Oh, it's incredible.
And then remember the goal he scored in the Super Cup 3 months later.
Yeah,
at the Bernabeu, where he just shooting from 30 yards, pinged the top corner.
He had some amazing goals.
Really good goal.
Okay, so that's your spoof for the week. Would you go say something about Delaney?
John Delaney, yeah, he's
League of Ireland still bad.
No, yeah, he had an interview there with RTE, and like he's just coming off like literally the guy said to him on the show is like, yeah, but what about the facilities? Like they're not good enough. And he's like, oh, they're brilliant. You know, look at Tallaght Stadium. Yeah, that's probably the only one you could pick that's actually acceptable. And he's like, oh yeah, well we put a new stand into Galway. It's like refusing to actually make the point that Galway City went bust, and they've went bust twice, and now they're merging with like Merview United and all this. It's
just nothing to do with him though.
The league clubs shouldn't be going bust about this. And then he said Waterford have a fantastic stadium. I was just like, what is he talking about? He's literally just picking anything. He's saying like, he was just talking absolute nonsense. Then he also said, which really annoyed me, that the League of Ireland is like the child you don't want.
Yeah.
It's like, right, if you say that in an interview, that shows how much you actually care about the league. Then he started talking about, well, we also have Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane as manager. It's like, that's great. We're also shit. You know, your plan isn't working, Mr. Delaney. And it was just, really, if I really would listen to it. He just sounded like such a politician in it. It was just like such Bertie Ahern drivel, to be honest.
Okay, moving on to the ITK Soccer Show Fantasy League. The code is 1744.
Had a great week. Going to get you there.
You can never repeat this code without someone interrupting.
Is this the gag?
Oh, sorry.
Who's Gary Kieran?
Please. The code is 174451-525194. So that's 174451-525194. Okay.
Do we have any new members since we started?
Yeah, I was just looking. No, we're still at 10. So. Come on, get
10 listeners. Here, you get Niall and all them in.
Maybe a lot of it has to be people who started initially, like who actually did start their team.
To be honest, most people have started fancy from the start anyway.
Well, that's what I hope. Okay, let's go through it. We have Seamus still at the bottom. He's just not trying anymore.
He got a high score this week, I think.
Did he?
I saw him yesterday. He said hello.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Actually, I think there was a bigger gap at the bottom for El Shamu. He's closing in. There's 25 points now in the difference between him and ninth, which is Enda, who's dropped down since.
Even though he said he had me right where he wanted me last week.
Just like his stocks in the show, like just
plummeted after last week.
His stocks or his socks? No socks and loafers, you know. Can't forget
I'm
that
glad
one.
to see after the personal attack on him and his significant other that Tommy is still ahead of Enda.
Yeah,
that was out of order.
And Tommy, well done for another good picture this week.
That's how I was going to close out the show, but no, thank you very much for the picture as always, Tommy.
What picture was it?
They're getting better every week.
Yeah, he's improving. Yeah. It was the Liverpool where Enda was smiling in the background, like, you know.
In number 7, we've got John. Yeah. The old devastating slips there at 321 points. 6 points ahead of him is
Jeez, Dave is he's going the wrong way, isn't he?
He is going the wrong way.
Neil, you're flying up the league.
Oh, I know.
You have me right where you want me.
You see, the thing is, I'm not even going to make an excuse, but anyway, I'm not doing too badly. I'm at number 5 with a 331, so it's very congested there in the mid-table. Ronan O'Reilly has 342 points in 4th place. 3rd place is Gary Kiernan with 349 place, whoever he is. Rob Norman's in 2nd place with 335 and 22 points ahead at the top of the table. By the way, you're being closed in on. You had more last week. 22 points ahead at the top of the table is Dan.
It was only by about 5 points, I would say. Wasn't much.
Well, still, they're closing in on you is the point.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
Sorry to say it for a 3rd time, but do you think I can change my fancy name to Limp Dicks?
You've ridden that horse to the goddamn ground.
I'm getting it on a t-shirt. I have a word adjective now for Arsenal, so that's alright.
Perfect. Alright, anything else before we sign off, lads?
I think we should put a song on this week.
Okay. We didn't have one on last week. What would you like?
You know,
not something I have to work for, something I might already have in my collection.
Travelling Wilburys.
What?
Who's
you what?
John doesn't know who Travelling Wilburys are. Roy Orbison or your man.
Okay, the Travelling Wilburys are Roy Orbison, Jeff Lynne from ELO fame, best producer of the 80s and 90s in Britain, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, and George Harrison.
An amazing.
Yeah, it's the ultimate supergroup.
And
you like them.
She didn't know who Chuck Berry was either. So I think we need to maybe have a segment next week for John about some sort of music.
I wish I could get the audio of Chuck Berry collapsing at that concert. That would have been
great. Jesus, yeah.
There wasn't much audio to be had. More like
Did he fall asleep?
Yeah, he fell asleep sitting down.
Did someone poke him with a stick or something?
I think the stagehand just came over and put their hand on his back and was like, "Get this man out the hell." It was no good. Okay, do you have any requests for final song?
Nah, man.
Bananarama. That kind of somewhat limp dick. Okay. Okay, on behalf of myself and Dan and John, thanks very much for listening. Follow us at ITK Soccer Show. The fancy code again is 174451-525194. We'll be back next week, perhaps on a different day, so we can try and get as much FIFA and international stuff in as possible.
We didn't talk about FIFA.
Yeah, we're doing it next week if you're listening.
You did nod at me when
if you're not listening, what are the people at home doing?
No, but I thought we were also doing it this week. I didn't realise we were going to play it for a bit as well.
Yeah, I think that I think we'll save it all next week because we've gone long this week and we'll need that time next week.
Right, I need to go home and save Wigan from relegation anyway.
Okay, and you will have according updates for us.
How are Leeds doing in your league, by the way?
They're not promoted.
Oh, he's not finished his first year yet. So.
I am, yeah.
Oh, wow, you've been busy, boy.
Who's top scorer for Leeds? Mirko Antonucci?
I don't pay any attention to the championship.
Well, you should.
Well,
you definitely should if you were in the league.
Would you just let me sign off?
Right, go on.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Hey, baby, kept my soul. Thought I was your only vato. Hey, baby, kept my soul. Please don't leave me decimoso. Come on, baby, turn around. Let me see your pretty blue eyes. Don't you know that I love you? Please don't leave me decimoso. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Won't you give me un beso? Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Please don't leave me decimoso. Come on, baby, turn around. Let me show you how I feel. Don't you know that I love you? And my corazón is real. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? Won't you give me un beso?